Gavin, you've been involved now with Adroit Insurance and Risk for the last 12 months. Tell us a little bit how that evolved.
Yeah, so we're a signatory to the Grow Compact here in Geelong, and that's about ensuring that local businesses support local businesses. And so when the opportunity for us to review our insurances came up, it made sense that we walk the talk around what it is that we signed up for. Yep. And so through relationships that we've got in Geelong, we identified Adroit as a possible partner for us to work with around our insurances. And what we found when Graham, my predecessor, engaged in that was not only on the business front, but on a philosophical front. And so the work that you're doing with the community and the philosophies around the role that Adroit plays in the community are very aligned to AWA. And so we found ourselves feeling really, really comfortable that the motivation around why we're here and what we're trying to achieve extends beyond the business outcomes. And so it made sense for us to source an insurance provider that was local, that had philosophical alignment with us as an organisation.
So Gavin, you deal with one of our senior risk advisors, Phil Hatch, at Adroit Insurance and Risk. And Phil, his job is predominantly to come over and sit with you and work out what your needs are from a business point of view. So just talk to us a little bit about where you see a risk factor to your business.
Yes, so we're probably not dissimilar to your business in terms of providing, you have a client base whose information you need to protect, you have your reputation that you need to protect, but you've also got your operational components around your people, premises and the like. One of the great things about your proposition is that we can sit down and have a risk-based conversation around understanding what are the risks for us. And as a bank, that's evolved over the years. 100 years ago, it was all about a cash and a safe.
Yeah, that's right.
Through the 90s, it was all about credit risk exposure and protecting the bank from its credit losses. Over the last 10 years or so, it's been more operational risk around our customers being susceptible to fraud and identity takeover. And I think probably in the last 4 or 5 years, there's been the overlay of reputational risk for the bank and for all banks. We all understand the Royal Commission and the expectations around banks and their conduct. So the risk profile for banks is evolving. And then we've got the always increasing technology risks around protecting our data and cyber security and all the safeguarding for our members around that. So it's great to be able to sit down with Phil and work through all of our risk components, so our traditional buildings, contents, operational components, and getting the business cover in place for that. Then thinking about our people, our staff and our members when they're on site and our safety obligations. Then more into the liability plate. So our statutory obligations, our directors and officers cover, our performance and bond cover are all they're all quite unique elements of cover, but to be able to package that up in a way that gives us a really sensible risk management approach around our risk, and to be able to work through what that looks like with our providers and how we balance our premiums and excesses. To be able to sit down locally and do that face to face when we can, COVID permitting, to be able to work through that and it really feels like a partnership where we're getting solutions that are based on our needs.
We get back to that, it's important to have that strong relationship with someone that you can actually trust, and you can be prepared to pick up the phone and he'll have an immediate answer for you, which is really good.
Yeah, and that's exactly what you want. And sometimes banks and insurance aren't the most sexiest things around there, but they're actually really important to people.
They are.
And being there at the moments that matter the most is the key bit.
Okay, absolutely.
So it's so a great engagement around a renewal or the sales process is fantastic. But actually, when you really need them, it's the relationship that you rely on to be able to get the help when you need it.
That's right.
And that's fundamental in the nature of both of our businesses.
Yeah, exactly.